Welcome to day 16 of our Ghost Host Halloween Countdown, where we're counting down films that have real-life horror hosts somewhere in the cast. This is a cool little collection of movies, and yesterday we looked at The Stand, the made-for-TV series that had Joe Bob Briggs as detective in a little small role, which is a pretty cool casting. All right, tonight's movie, this is the most modern entry in our countdown here. It came out last year, and it is Late Night with the Devil. Late Night with the Devil plays out like a documentary exploring a tragic event that occurred on Halloween night in 1977. The story centers around Jack Delroy, a late-night talk show host portrayed by David Dastmalchian. Jack's show, Night Owls, supposedly premiered on April 4th, 1971, and while it saw decent success, it struggled to catch up to the king of late night, Johnny Carson. Jack co-hosts with his beloved wife, Madeline, but when tragedy strikes and she passes away from cancer in 1976, Jack retreats from the spotlight. However, he makes a comeback that year and plans a thrilling live Halloween broadcast. The Halloween episode features a cast of intriguing guests: Chris Stew, a spiritualist, Carmichael, a skeptic and former magician, and Dr. June Ross Mitchell, a parapsychologist. Dr. Mitchell brings along a young girl named Lily, the sole survivor of a satanic cult known for a tragic mass suicide, who reportedly is possessed by a demon named Abraxas. Against her better judgment, June agrees to communicate with the demon inside Lily on live TV. What follows is an absolute nightmare for Jack and the studio audience as chaos ensues and all hell literally breaks loose. As the broadcast unfolds, we uncover the darker sacrifices Jack made in his pursuit of fame and success. David Dastmalchian, who plays Jack in this film, has several horror host ties himself. He is the creator and writer for a series of comics called Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter. In it, a once respected journalist named Jerry Bartman takes over the reins of a late-night horror host show after the former host mysteriously disappears. She learns that the monsters he talked about are real, and she must dispatch the beasts. The series began in 2020 and ran for 4 issues, published by Dark Horse Comics. There have been 2 additional miniseries of Count Crowley books released: Count Crowley, Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter in 2022, and Count Crowley, Mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter in 2024, all written by David Dastmalchian and illustrated by Lucas Kettner. To make things even more interesting, Dastmalchian created his own horror host character to help promote the comic book, Dr. Fearless, which he plays himself. Dr. Fearless is a goofy, fun, and campy vampire character that Dastmalchian has used to promote the book, and has even introduced a couple of films here and there, including the special Halloween crossover episode of Marlena Midnight's Midnight Mausoleum. Late Night with the Devil was released in 2023 and crafted by the filmmaking duo Colin and Cameron Cairns. It's set in the 1980s and was shot in a 4:3 format reminiscent of classic TV shows. The inventive narrative pays homage to films like Ghostwatch and WFNU, but with a larger budget and more graphic special effects. All right, Late Night with the Devil. I got to see this one in the theater last year, and that was a really fun experience. Love seeing Dastmalchian on the big screen. I don't know if this was David's first feature role, but he's the main guy in this one, the main host, the TV host in it. I like I really love his character, Dr. Fearless. You do a great job, David, as Dr. Fearless. I love that he leans into the entire campiness and cheesiness of horror hosting. David really gets it, so he's a good guy. Good actor too. Late Night with the Devil is one that I definitely recommend checking out. It was an independent film, so it had that smaller scale look and feel about it, but it was very creative in the storyline and the approach that it made, that it took to telling the story. And I love seeing something that looked like an old school television program on the big screen. It was a lot of fun. I just picked this DVD up for $10, so it's available pretty cheap. on Amazon. All right, so 3.5 skulls for Late Night with the Devil. Definitely worth a watch. Join us back here tomorrow night. We'll keep this Halloween countdown going. Till then, stay mad.
Until next time, creep it real, my fiends. Beware, don't skip.
Cut. Cool.
I'm gonna turn all the way around.
Oh, sorry. Let's do that again.